So I've got to be honest. I noticed something was off. You know that feeling? A nagging sense that I was just losing hours of my day to something that wasn't really making me any happier. So I decided to run a little experiment on myself, a full 30 days social media detox. And what I found out? Well, it was genuinely surprising. It all started when I finally got the courage to check my screen time. The daily average? 3 hours. Some days it was even 4. I mean, 3 hours a day. That's 21 hours a week. That's practically a part-time job just staring at my phone. And I had to ask myself, what was I really getting out of it? I was getting this just scrolling. You know the move, that endless, mindless thumb flick through an infinite feed. I wasn't really engaging with anything. I wasn't learning much. I was just, consuming content that's literally designed to do one thing: keep me hooked. And while I was doing all that scrolling, I was also doing this, constantly comparing my reality, my messy desk, my totally normal Tuesday, to everyone else's perfectly polished highlight reel. Their amazing vacations, their big promotions, their picture-perfect lives. It's such a subtle thing, but boy, it starts to wear on you. When it came right down to it, it just felt like this, a total waste of time. I'd close an app after maybe an hour and I'd just feel nothing. No sense of accomplishment, no new ideas, just that kind of vague, empty feeling of knowing a whole chunk of my life had just vanished. So that all led me to this one simple question. What would actually happen if I just stopped? Cold turkey. For a whole month. I mean, would my world just fall apart? Or would something better, maybe, take its place? I just had to find out. The rules were pretty simple. I just deleted the apps from my phone. No Instagram, no Facebook, and no more mindless scrolling through YouTube Shorts or the home feed. Now, I could still use YouTube if I needed to search for something specific, but all that passive consumption, it had to stop. It was all or nothing. And let me tell you, that first phase was a genuine detox. That first week was, without a doubt, the hardest part of this entire experiment. It was rough. And right away, I had this pretty scary realization. This habit was way deeper than I ever imagined. My phone was the very first thing I'd reach for in the morning, and the last thing I'd look at before I fell asleep. It was my buddy while I was eating. My attention span? Oh, it was completely shot. Trying to focus on one single thing for like 20 minutes felt like climbing a mountain. Day 1 was all about muscle memory. My hand would literally twitch reaching for my phone to open an app that just wasn't there anymore. By day 3, the boredom was so intense, I felt restless, a little anxious, and I had a serious case of FOMO, the fear of missing out. But then, right around day 5, something shifted. The constant noise in my head started to fade. My mind just felt quieter. And you know what came with that quiet? A new kind of focus. And this is where the whole experiment turned from this painful chore into a genuine, eye-opening revelation. Unexpected benefits just started popping up all over the place. By the second week, the changes were just undeniable. All of a sudden, I had all this extra time. I was sleeping so much better, probably because I wasn't staring at a bright blue screen right before bed. My general anxiety level just dropped. And my ability to focus on my work, on a book, on a real conversation, it was actually coming back. So what did I do with all this new time and focus? Well, I started filling that void, the one normally filled by scrolling, with things I used to love. I actually picked up books again, and for the first time in years, I finished them. I started working out consistently, and maybe most importantly, I was just more present in conversations with my family without that constant itch to check my phone. Now, weeks 3 and 4, that's where the real transformation kicked in. It went way beyond just having more time. I honestly didn't even miss the feeds anymore. That need to compare myself to other people just kind of dissolved. And as a result, my confidence, my productivity, and just my overall sense of mental peace, they all skyrocketed. And all of this led me to the real lesson, the core truth of the whole 30 days. And it really wasn't what I expected it to be. See, it has very little to do with the technology itself. Here it is. The problem wasn't Instagram. It wasn't Facebook. The problem was my lack of control over how I was using these incredibly powerful tools. I had let the habit start controlling me. This whole experience made me realize there are really only 2 ways to use these things. Are you using them with a purpose, to learn something, to genuinely connect with people, to grow?
If so, they're an amazing tool. Or are you using them as an escape? To avoid boredom, to avoid your own thoughts, to avoid reality? Because if you're doing that, they slowly but surely start to control you.
So, this brings us to the end of the 30 days. And now I had to decide, what's next? It was time to think about coming back, but with a completely different game plan. This is the question everybody asks me. After all that, the peace, the focus, the freedom, did I actually go back to social media? Yep, I did. But I came back with one single, non-negotiable rule, a fundamental change in how I deal with this technology. This is the rule. It's simple. Now I use it. It doesn't use me. I open an app with a specific reason, to post something, to check on a friend, to look something up. And then I close it. No more mindless scrolling. I'm the one in control now. And that, right there, is the biggest takeaway from all of this. The real freedom that I felt didn't come from just deleting the apps. It came from building the discipline to live without needing them. That discipline, that's the real superpower. So I'm going to leave you with a question. This isn't really about what I did. It's about what you could do. So what do you think? Could you disconnect for 30 days and take back control? It's definitely something to think about.